My name is Hannah Hildreth, and the photo was taken in June of last year after Race for Life, which me and my mum both did together. I did a slightly longer course than her, so I was a little bit more puffed out. We'd both taken part in it, so Harry took a picture of us to celebrate us doing it, really. Getting around in one piece. They give you a little medal at the end, whether you walk, roll, run, anything, and I found them all the other day. I think we'd done it about 5 times previously. It's every year down in our local park. We'd always done it together, and then after she got diagnosed for the first time with breast cancer, it kind of became more important to us to get around it and do it together. And I'm sure that next year when I do it, it will definitely be significant as well to be there in that place. There was a few taken that day, and a few of them my mum's got her fingers up behind my head like rabbit ears, but I'm not sure if it is in that picture or not. The other 2 she is. And I think my mum's got a feather boa on. Which kind of summed up, we'd always do some sort of silly fancy dress. Well, she would anyway. There was always feather boas and tutus and all that sort of thing involved. So yes, it's just kind of a smiley, happy photo, really, doing something together. She was very positive person, very happy and smiley. Yeah, just very positive, even during things that she had to go through, like the treatment and everything like that. You know, she maintained a sense of humour, she maintained that positivity. She wasn't a pushover, she was quite a dragon in her job. She was, she was positive, but she knew what she was talking about. I think that photo is quite a good way to sum her up. She looks smiley and happy and is wearing something a bit silly. When I was younger, if I sounded like my mum or said things like my mum, I would not want that, because I think most people are like, oh, I don't want to, oh no, oh God, I sound like my mother kind of thing. But now I think if I do ever do things that she used to do or find myself saying little phrases or things like that, I'm encouraging it. I'm trying to make that a part of what I actually do every day. She was much better at being positive than I am. I can get a bit grumpy or a bit stressed, but I'm trying to think about all of those positive things that she had going for her and try and adopt them. Other people around me would probably say I'm more like her than I think I am, if that makes sense. She was very driven as well. She was very strong, and she was very sort of kept going no matter what, really, and I've definitely tried to take that on as well. I think she definitely helped me to be a lot stronger, and I think in the situation that I'm in now, it's definitely helped her always being very strong and stuff. It kind of makes me think, yeah, I can do this, because she was, I think. She used to say she was the accidental career girl. She sort of wanted to just have babies and have a family and stuff like that, but she started off as a nurse, and then she trained as a midwife, and then she went and got her degree while I was about 9 or 10, I think, whilst working as well. And then she became an ultrasonographer, so she did scans for people who are having babies, and then she became the manager of that department. So she never really set out to have this big career, but she did, and she worked very hard, and we didn't have a huge amount when I was younger, and she did have to work a lot. Yeah, definitely was a big inspiration to me. Made me think I could sort of do things and go out there, and because she was, really, even though she had me to look after and all sorts, and our house was falling apart and we had too many cats, but it was all quite a bit crazy, but it all worked, and she worked very hard to make it work. So yeah, definitely a role model. It was her birthday on the 1st of November, which was quite difficult, and we had a meal. We ended up having a meal with some of her friends, which was really nice. And for the past 6 months, we've also been doing lots and lots of fundraising for the hospice where she stayed, and we raised £10,000. That was our target, so we managed to do that. So it's been really good having something to focus on that kind of kept. It wasn't like I was trying to take my mind off the grief. It was part of it, but a positive thing. It's not I have to pretend everything's fine and I'm doing something else. I can talk about it freely, but it's still a positive, nice experience. I kind of always knew that it was going to be tricky. I'm 26, and I'm, most of my friends are a similar age, if not a little bit younger. And even when my mum was poorly the first time, it was difficult for friends, I think, to talk to me. So I already had some experience of it. It's not anybody's fault if they don't know how to talk to you. And that being said, when things are bad, it can be quite difficult sometimes. because I've had to take time out of uni, I've ended up feeling quite isolated. And as much as I've had my husband, who's been absolutely amazing, you know, it can be difficult sometimes. Even just going out for a cup of tea or just going for a quick walk or something can make all the difference. And I think because everyone else's lives have continued and they're going to work and they've got their own commitments, and that's completely understandable, sometimes I've lost quite a lot of confidence with my friends. I've lost quite a lot of confidence overall, I think, just generally. And so I'm not very good at instigating. I'm not very good at being the one to say, hi, can we hang out? And I've sort of been, sometimes I've just got upset and just wanted someone just to call or just to come over. And definitely I've had some friends who've been absolutely amazing. My best friend in particular has just been there pretty much every day. I think we've literally spoken every day since, and we used to speak a lot anyway, but she really has always made the effort to check in with me. And I've always felt like I can say, actually, no, I'm not great today. Whereas some people, I guess, if they say, how are you? But I'm not sure if they're always ready for the response of, no, I'm not okay. Maybe sometimes then they go, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I don't know what to say. I have no doubt that a lot of my friends have probably felt quite sort of not really knowing what to say, and it must have bothered them too. It's difficult. People don't talk about it. People freeze up a little bit. People don't want to talk about it happening. I think a lot of the time people don't want to talk about it because they don't want to imagine that it could happen to them, and I understand. It's a scary subject, you know, like someone you know it happens to, and you go, whoa, okay, that could happen to me. No, and they just shut down. But when you're the person who's in the situation, I think sometimes it can be very isolating and quite lonely, and it can be a bit tricky, definitely. The people who've been honest with me and gone, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, like, what can I do? That has actually been a lot more useful, because, or even just the people who've been really honest. I've had people just be like, oh, this is rubbish, isn't it? This is really crap. And it's sort of, it's actually really refreshing, and you're like, yeah, it is, you know, and it's just nice to have that rather than anything that's too serious and too heavy. I think when people have just been a lot more direct and been like, so what can I do? Because I've had it, and when people have gone, I don't know what to say, and I've been like, I don't know what to say either, to be honest. You know, just right after when my mum got diagnosed, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to say either. You know, and so it was a lot more of a like honest conversation, and I think the people who had that approach probably felt a lot more comfortable talking to me about it. And I felt a lot more comfortable just being honest and going, oh God, like my head's everywhere, I don't know what's going on. I think sometimes people don't realise that you're not scary, and you're not like, you know, you haven't changed at all. You're still the same person. You're just having a rubbish time. I've come to not like emojis very much. The emoji heart it's sort of, people like the emoji heart, and sometimes it's lovely, and if it comes from someone who I have lots of other contact with, it's great. But sometimes you're like, I don't know. Or the like button as well, like people like something and it's lovely, and it does feel like support, but perhaps not the same as just a little hope you're okay, or even just a little message to say you're right. You know, a heart is lovely, but a how are you, it goes a lot further, and it's a lot more. Yeah, I do think face-to-face can be a lot better. People, I guess they don't really have a chance to feel awkward if you're just there. They can see you. They know that you're not throwing yourself on the ground screaming and crying. They know that you're normal, you're okay. And I that's something I've tried to do a lot, is I've tried to talk about my mum to people just to show that I can do it, I'm okay. It's all right to mention, you know, she was my mum for 26 years. So, of course, she's going to come up in conversation, like, quite regularly. I rate face-to-face a lot more. Yeah, I think it's very important to kind of try and find ways for people to talk about it and encourage people to talk about it, because it's probably the most helpful thing for anyone in this situation to do, pretty much. I can't think of anything else that's helped me more than just being able to chat about it and remember things as well, because I think from talking to a few people in my situation, you start to worry you're going to forget things, like you're going to forget how they sounded, or you're going to forget things they said, or memories are going to get hazy if you don't keep talking about them. So yeah, I think it's really important.